Okay, bottom round. We're going to lead with our noses. Actually, we lead with our eyes. Make sure that it looks right. Very often, if it doesn't look right, it's not going to smell right either. But that's a good, clean-looking bottom. Ooh. So as we do this, we're going to be cutting into 3 different categories: soup trim, stew, and finally stir fry. And the outside meat that's not waste gets cut into the soup trim category. And the nicer, cleaner meat gets cut into the stew and stir. There's a membrane that I'm cutting around on the side muscle. Cut the crap out of it. So I just basically removed it from the side, and now I'm going to remove the membrane from the other side, kind of edging against it and rolling it off. Now, this is the kind of stuff that would disrupt your chewing experience. So here's some pretty thick slabs. That's fat, waste fat on the outside. That's got connective tissue in the middle of it, but a lot of meat on the outside. I don't feel guilty about calling that soup trim. And it goes. This is still got the fat cap on the outside of it. I'm just gonna peel that away. The idea there is to get it all off. That's obvious. I think how Don thinks I'm nuts, talking to myself as I do this. And then I'm going to cut it into what is a larger chunk stew meat than what Haldon has been cutting. He's been cutting beautiful, small, almost what I would call chili meat. And it is selling, so why interrupt the way we've been doing it? Well, we have customers that also were liking it when we were cutting it when it was chunkier. So I just wanted to demonstrate that, and I'll do a little bit the way Haldon was doing it to show him, but larger squares. An ode to the person who taught me how to cut stew, as he said, cut it uniformly small so that it does not have the potential to choke a child. Kind of a morbid thought, but it did stick in my head, and here I'm repeating it. So now we have the main muscle. It's still got a fat cap on the back side, and it's got this funky connective stuff on the inside here. So we're going to do similar to what we just did. Just going to shallowly remove it. Pretty quick. Blast off the corner full of fat. Good if we wanted to be nice. Cut down and remove the worst of that silver skin and just put nicer quality soup trim out there. So that's really thick, heavy duty silver skin. Not really good to eat. It's not gonna hurt the quality of a dish, but it won't be pleasurable in your mouth. Now the only thing left to do on this guy is remove the fat cap, which again, pretty quick. We don't do ground beef here. If we did, we could put this fat trim into the ground beef stream. sliced thin, yes, thin sliced beef cut in the slice section, but you don't have to do it. All right. So again, just removing that outside fat, peeling it off. If something seems harvestable for soup trim, we're going to keep it. If it's not, throw it. All this is calculated to do the price. It's we do what are called cutting tests. And there goes how I'm wrapping my tray. That's good. So we make sure that now that's what we have to cut. Its original cost included all the fat and all the extra stuff, some of which I've thrown away. So now I'm getting at the heart of it. This is where we make our living and keep the lights on. Again, larger diameter stew than what Hadam has been cutting. But essentially what he's doing, and I'll cut a package's worth, is similarly staking it and then cutting a smaller dimension. Again, not wrong, just different. And for the sake of consistency, the purpose of today's demonstration was to show a way of cutting a larger size dimensionally, and again, and again. Bigger stew, and there goes my packages. Good. So Hadam stew is just cut small like that, smaller slices, and this is glorious for chili and probably also glorious for different dishes as well, but it's just smaller dimensionally. So that is also stew, but it is much smaller dimensionally. And then stir fry gets cut a little differently too. Basically I'm planking it out in steak form that are pretty much uniformly thick. That's going to kind of determine the dimension of the stir fry. I've got 5-pack stir fry staked out, and I want to make sure I'm not cutting improperly in terms of the grain. So his stir fry is beautiful. It is larger in dimension than this, so this is just a slightly smaller starting cut on that steak to achieve a smaller, dimensionally smaller stir fry. So the way we were cutting it under Steve Marlin, who is the meat manager that was here when I came on board, we were cutting it in what looked like little gummy worms, really small, and depending on how you cut that, that's not going to be too palatable. So I was asked by a couple of customers to cut it a little bit different dimensionally. So when I started slabbing it like this and cutting it thicker, or wider I should say, and as a result, I ate it this way. I liked it. The little ropey small pieces are also good, but these are better. Need 2 more trays. So this is okay. Stew. This is stew. Yeah, 6106. Yep. Now I will use Google Translate to explain what the hell I'm doing. We've been through this. I just want to, again, try to emphasize that we have shop trim standards. Not saying that the world is one standard, but just saying that we try to make product that is cut consistently so that when customers come here, they can have a regular experience and not say, oh, wow, there must be someone else cutting the meat. So we don't all have to march to the same drum, but I want to be a little bit mindful of consistency. So that's stir fry of another dimension. And that's it.